Here's number 37 and 5.3. So we need to solve this trig equation, find all solutions in the interval 0 to 2 pi. So you have cosecant of x plus cotangent of x equals 1. So one way to work with this problem is I'm going to change it to 1 over sine of x plus cotangent is cosine of x over sine of x equals 1. So really right now we have a common denominator, so 1 plus cosine of x over sine of x equals 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and multiply by sine of x to both sides. So now I have 1 plus cosine of x equals sine of x. And so this really does look like one of our examples from class, example 6. And what we want to do, because nothing is squared, is we're going to go ahead and square both sides of the equation. So now we have 1 plus 2 cosine x plus cosine squared of x equals sine squared of x. And then we're going to use our Pythagorean identity, cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x equals 1. We're going to go ahead and change everything to cosine. So I'm going to isolate my sine squared of x. I'm going to rewrite my Pythagorean identity as sine squared of x equals 1 minus cosine squared of x. Then I'll replace it with this equation here. So 1 plus 2 cosine x plus cosine squared of x equals 1 minus cosine squared of x. Then I'm going to set it equal to 0. Since it's a quadratic, set the equation equal to 0, so minus 1. Add cosine squared of x to both sides. So now I have 2 cosine x plus 2 cosine squared of x equals 0. I can factor out a 2 cosine x from both terms, so 1 plus cosine x equals 0. And now we're going to use the zero product property. So we have 2 cosine x equals 0, 1 plus cosine x equals 0. So when does cosine x equal 0, and when does cosine x equals negative 1? So cosine is 0 here and here. Cosine of x is negative 1 here. And so those angles are at x equals pi over 2, x equals pi, and x equals 3 pi over 2. Now remember, when you square both sides of the equation, you're going to have to check to either validate that they are true solutions or find that they are extraneous. And when you plug it in, you have to plug it in the original. So we can plug it into cosine x cotangent of x here. So let's do that. So cosine of x plus cotangent of x should equal 1. So we have cosecant of pi over 2 plus cotangent of pi over 2. So I can rewrite this instead. Cosecant is really 1 over sine of x. And so we have 1 over sine of pi over 2, which is 1, plus cotangent of pi over 2. So pi over 2, x is 0, y is 1. So cotangent pi over 2 is 0. So then we see that 1 equals 1. Therefore, x equals pi over 2 is fine. So let's try x pi. So x equals pi. So cosecant of pi plus cotangent of pi equals 1. Cosecant of pi, that is the 1 over sine of pi. We find that that is undefined. Cotangent of pi is negative 1 over 0, so that's also undefined, and therefore this doesn't work, right? X equals pi is an extraneous solution. And then if we try x equals 3 pi over 2, So cosecant 3 pi over 2 plus cotangent of 3 pi over 2, does that equal 1? So this is 1 over sine of 3 pi over 2, which is negative 1. Cotangent of 3 pi over 2 is 0. So there we have negative 1 plus 0 equals 1, and that also is not true. So therefore, the only solution we have is x equals pi over 2. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.